just burnt my mouth on my coffee. Good morning. Oh. I had my workout on Friday instead of Tuesday, so I'm still really sore. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Only once a week. Next goal is like twice a week.
Okay.
Where do you go?
I go to the Mass Fit. It's like tucked into Head House Market.
Cool.
It's like a basement gym. But
Yeah.
kind of Gold's Gym, burly,
Yeah.
all metal.
Oh, awesome. I like picturing that. No.
Yeah, what about you?
I go to KG Strong over at Bach, and Katie's brilliant, and she's an old friend, used to teach here like a decade ago, and I wouldn't do it if it wasn't like an excuse to hang out with my friend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
she has to like really trick me into it.
It has to be, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to like move this bell gracefully. I'm like, I don't know the mechanics of snatching.
It's good you have a friend to teach you the formation.
Yeah.
It takes out the uncertainty of it,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
great.
luxury of like class, just like this.
Yeah, yeah. For health. Even though, these days it's like, I can't wait to die. Bring me the final Shavasana. It's so morbid. I tend towards more. I'm like the most morbid optimist you'll ever meet. I wonder what that does to my children, actually. How we doing? I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad we're here. Yeah, so I missed you last Sunday. That was like my first Easter off ever. Whatever Easter is, no offense to anyone. I think allergies are real. Anyone else? I'm feeling foggy and like a little throaty, itchy here. And then the rest of the world. And thank God for yoga, because for me, yoga is a practice of personal sustainability. And these are the best skills I found. I mean, I think I did a fair bit of seeking, and drugs were not the answer. I'm really glad I figured that out as a teenager, and then discovered meditation. I use meditation largely to dissociate. It led me to spiritual practice and a lot of the yogas that were a welcome invitation to bypass. And then finally I found this lesser known path of yoga from the tantric tradition, rooted in what's called Sri Vidya, the auspicious wisdom tradition. It's a very sort of margin yoga lineage that's about a yoga that turns towards the world, not away from the world. And at that time in my life, that's like the last thing I wanted to be invited to do. I was really wanting to escape, transcend, renounce. But I loved a challenge, because I had learned from my life prior to that challenge awakens. And now I'm kind of like, fuck, it would have been really nice to just end up in the mountains or the riverbanks in India somewhere and just be forgotten, leave no mark on the world. But our yoga really is about the mark we leave on the world, and that the gift of life, the privilege of being born in and of the world is that we have an opportunity, not an obligation, but an opportunity to leave a beautiful mark on the world. And it means that we have to face a world, live in a world that is in so many ways, in all honesty and truth, like broken and messy and ugly. And at the same time, there's not a beauty beyond this world. There's beauty within the world, and it's our task in yoga to see the beauty, to remember our intrinsic beauty, and to share the beauty with those in the world around us. And without yoga, I feel like I would not be able to do that. The physical practice of yoga, which is just one aspect of the practice, is a practice, again, of personal sustainability. I think that our practice is a strategy for creating the stamina, the endurance, the tenacity needed to remember our virtuosity, to recognize our beauty, and to have the stamina, the endurance, the will, quite frankly, to bring it to those in the world around us. And so the way that we do our physical practice, which probably many of you practice at all different places, and then there's like this way in which like Three Queens teachers teach, is literally we make the physical an application of the spiritual. And so we move in ways that are by design to expand the center, to expand our consciousness, to expand our physical capacity to embody and to accommodate all that life has to offer. And so the invitation here is really to take the outer world and all of it, the beauty that even if, like, you know, hopefully you got out into nature sometime over these last few days, and just with springing, there is this like, this, oh yeah, like anyone like, oh yeah, I feel better when it's nice out, when it's beautiful out, like I feel better. And again, that recognition that we're not separate from nature, we're a part of the rest of nature. And then like everything that's happening around the world, like we take it all in, we take it to heart. We have to expand our hearts in order to take the world to heart. And then in so doing, we offer the nature and spirit of our hearts out into the world, like the trees that bloom, you know, like, and in a lot of ways, like the trees don't really have, as far as we know, the senses to perceive their own beauty, but they offer it cyclically, unconditionally, right? Or not like, there are conditions, and the cool thing about living in Philly, I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, I would notice that like if we had like a couple 70-degree days in December, like we sometimes do in these parts, the trees start to bud and bloom. I'd be like, oh no, like you're gonna be like so fucked up, and then they would like die, but then they'd like bloom again when they're supposed to. And so there's just this like this sense of like we all have our own cycles and our own pace, and it is like it's not like you get to bloom once, right? Like it's when you feel good, when the environment is right for you, not like the world has to be perfect in order for you to bloom, but when things are like in just a right alignment for you, you shine and you give the world your beauty. And then sometimes things are like a little misaligned and flawed, and we get to turn in and recognize the beauty in those around us. Sometimes you are the beauty that other people get to see, and sometimes other people or nature beings, doesn't have to be people, beings can be people. I love to see you on Sundays. And all the other days I get to see you too, by the way. Reflect to you your beauty. So it's a reflection, it's a symbiotic relationship, and we're here to be able to expand our cycle, to offer the beauty, to remind others that there's beauty. Make yourself as comfortable as humanly possible. You can sit upright against a wall or recline. So give yourself a moment to land. By the way, for the new folks, I feel like I looked around and recognized some new beautiful faces. Welcome, my name's Mariel. I'll facilitate the practice. Everything I offer is an invitation, not an obligation, so please feel free and encouraged to take it or leave it. Next to me is Melissa, who is assisting this class. She'll be coming around offering verbal assists, manual assists, anything in general that will assist you. And Camden is on the mat demonstrating for folks at home on the live stream, as well as folks in the room. If you need a mirror, a reflection, a clue as to what we're doing, look for Camden on the mat up front. So here we are. We're here to practice, to cultivate our personal sustainability in order to be of more service and virtuosity to ourselves and those in the world around us. It's a tall order. What do you need from your practice? Is there anything in particular you want to shed or release today? If so, you can focus your releasing of energy on your exhales throughout our practice. Is there anything in particular you need or want to cultivate, to nurture, to nourish within yourself? This is the formula, the recipe for setting your best intentions for your practice today. Energy follows thought. What do you need or want to release? And there might be a clear answer to the question, and sometimes the practice itself is just holding the question. What do I need to release? And anything in particular that you want to cultivate, or what is it that I need to cultivate? Let the brow soften, look for the breath. Invite a deeper breath in and down, let it fill you up. And as you exhale, let your outer body soften and settle, becoming more sensitive, more receptive to the gift of life that fills us, surrounds us, and connects us to each other and all that is in the form of the breath. As you deepen your breath deepens you. The breath ignites the heart, wherein the voice of the true teacher resides, always present, intrinsically peaceful, utterly powerful, the source of your virtuosity. And as the breath ignites the heart has an opportunity to illuminate and inspire the faculty of your mind and your thoughts and the agency of your body, your actions. Here in the conscious breathing gift of embodiment, we'll bring the hands to the heart. So if you're reclined, you might just rest palms one over the other on top of the heart center. Or if you're seated, you can bring the hands into Anjali Mudra, the prayer gesture. It's a gesture of sincere recognition of the splendor of the heart, and a gesture that places this aspect of ourselves before us as a guide for at least the time we spend together. And together we'll set the tone for our practice by sharing the voices of our hearts and the sound of an om. You can feel free to join into the sound or let it wash over you. Deep breath in. Bow to your heart. Keeping that connection inward, unwavering, release the hands, blink open the eyes. If you're reclined, you can roll to one side and press through strong arms. We'll meet in a tabletop position. Any requests? It's not a speak now or forever hold your peace model, low back. I've been feeling that too. Lower back. As we dial into the fabric of the body, if there's anything in particular you notice you need or want, call it out or call one of us over to let us know. If there's any particular poses you're working on. Hips. Yeah, so the legs and hips govern the low back, so we'll definitely get into that. And you can always pretty much expect a full spectrum practice on Sunday mornings. We'll hit all the spots, but I'll focus as requested. Find your breath and just begin by linking breath and movement. Exhale to round your back, cat stretch. Inhale to arch for cow stretch. Linking breath and movement, and do let the breath slightly precede the movement. Breathe in and out through the nose, of course, allergies, sinuses permitting. And consciously slow down the beginning of each side of each breath. So slow exhale as you round. Slow inhale as you arch. And then I often like to take a full cycle of breath or two on each side of the stretch. can start to dial towards center, tabletop position. Walk your knees back a little bit behind the hips and walk your hands to the top corners of your mat. Big breath in, float the armpits up, and as you exhale, send your hips back for a puppy pose. So the knees are still on the floor. And you can adjust your stance as needed to suit and support you. The key here is to lift the armpits up as you inhale and soften the upper back towards the earth as you exhale. Can you take your pubic bone back and up so that the low back draws in and up? And then the bottom ribs in front sort of give a little lift there, so you're not sort of hammocking the middle back. Claw the fingertips towards your knees energetically to pull yourself back through to table. And on the exhale, press back to downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, bend your left leg a lot. Push through the arms to lift through the hips and press the right thigh back and let the right heel get heavy and root. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Both arms straight. Bend the right leg as left thigh back. Push through the arms to lift through the hips. Press the left thigh bone up and back and the left heel back and down. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Claw the fingertips, push the arms straight, lift both heels high, bend both knees deep, stick your butt out, think full chin. And as the sitting bones lift and spread, press your thigh bones up to the sky like you're raising the roof with your thighs. Keep that as you get heavy through the heels. One more of the deepest, fullest breaths. Inhale to plank. Lower all the way to the ground. Point the feet. Press the tops of the feet down so much you feel just the knees and thighs lift a little. Press the hands down and energetically pull the hands back to slide your heart, your chest forward and up. Try not to bend in the lower back. Keep pressing your tail towards the earth, your feet into the earth, and just press the hands down and back to slide the chest forward and up. One more breath. We exhale, downward facing dog. The entire physical practice of yoga is first the breath, to the gift of life that each breath offers to you particularly. On an inhale, float the right leg to the sky. As you exhale, catch your lunge. Spin the back heel to the ground and bring your right hand to a block inside your right foot. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Pause. Walk your back foot back until you can bend your front leg, knee over the ankle, top of your right thigh parallel to the earth. So you can adjust that stance from the back foot and then turn the back toes in. And as you inhale, pull the feet towards each other. Feel the legs engage all the way up into the hips. Draw the left shoulder up and back. And right at that connection between your right arm and your right leg, into arm and arm into leg, guide your front knee more open. Yeah, bend a little deeper. Use the arm to press into the leg. Squeeze the right heel in. Guide the right knee open. Bend one more inch. Take the right block higher if not already and slide it back as you push your front leg straight. Block more in line with the knee. Good. From the core of the pelvis, push down through your legs as you lean back over your shoulder blades. Press the inner edge of your front foot down, micro bend your front leg, and as you squeeze the right heel in, guide the right knee open, and now press the right thigh bone back. One more breath. And on your exhale, pass through lunge, take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the feet a little bit from side to side. Notice any changes, especially how you feel in your legs. Breath to heart, Heart to mind, mind to body. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. With your exhale, catch a lunge. Back heel to the ground. Take a block inside your left foot. Right hand to right hip. Bend your front knee directly over your ankle. Get your left knee and toes to point straight ahead. And now if the top of the left thigh is higher than your left knee, walk your back foot back and bend your front leg deeper. Yep, now turn the back. Pull the feet towards each other to engage the legs long. And from the core of the pelvis, push through your legs. Draw the right shoulder blade to the spine. You can look straight ahead, down, or up. Just see what your neck consents to here. And now extend your right arm straight high. Take the left block higher, the block higher under the left hand and push the left leg straight. Slide the block back so it's more in line with your shoulders. You straighten the front leg. Inhale, pull the feet towards each other. Draw the kneecaps up. And as you exhale, squeeze the left heel in. Guide the inner left knee open and lean back on your shoulder blades. On your next exhale, touch the floor, downward. Just check it out. Notice any newfound space, particularly through the legs. Inhale to lift the plank. If the shoulders come forward of your wrists, walk your feet back. Claw the fingertips, lift the heels high, lift the knees and thighs higher, draw the bottom ribs to the sky, look forward and right between the shoulder blades, soften. Exhale to downward dog, change nothing in the stance. Push through the arms to lift through the hips. Press the thigh bones back and let the heels get heavy. Can you claw the fingers and spread the toes to light up that entire interior landscape between fingertips and toe tips? On your inhale, find plank. Exhale, bend the elbows halfway. Inhale, push the arms straight. Exhale, downward facing dog. It was like confusing. If that was confusing, that's called a push-up. Find your breath. Inhale to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for cobra. Claw the fingertips, flick the toenails down. Bend your elbows, and can you lift your armpits higher? And as you pull the hands back, rather than dropping the shoulders, can you push through the inner edges of the hands to make the arms a little straighter? Exhale, downward dog. Follow your breath. Beautiful. On an inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale to catch your lunge. Spin the back heel to the ground and climb your right forearm to your right thigh, left hand to left hip. Again, front knee and toes point straight ahead. And if the top of your right thigh is higher than your right knee, walk your back foot back just until you can bend your front leg to be parallel to the ground. Turn your toes in and pull the feet towards each other. As you pull the feet towards each other, you'll feel the legs engage, integrate from the earth all the way up into your hips. Reach the left arm to the sky. And on your inhale, turn the left palm up to the sky, hug the feet towards each other, reach up and back, warrior two. Change nothing in the legs. Reach back for the person behind you. Reach back, stretch back. It's okay to touch, Hillary? There it is. And bend the front leg deeper. Push the front leg straight, big breath in. Exhale for triangle pose, right fingertips to the floor. Lock. Notice if your front foot is turning out. If so, rather than turn your toes in, just take your front heel wider so that your front foot is pointing straight ahead. And now push through the inner edge of the front foot so much the outer edge of the foot lifts up. Yes. Press through the big toe ball mound. So much the outer heel lifts, and guide the inner knee open. One more breath. Yes, exhale, touch the floor. Downward facing dog. Check it out. Does that feel different? Isn't that like, we can lower the knees down. Isn't that incredible how like we think of core muscles as like, a lot of times just culturally we think of core muscles as like abdominal muscles. But when you like find the core muscles in your legs, it changes your experience of your lower back. I love this stuff. Downward dog. On the inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Spin the back heel to the ground, left forearm to left thigh, right hand to hip. So the legs govern the lower back. Or my ridiculously expensive Tempur-Pedic mattress, which I have to get out of bed and either crawl until I can stand up or walk like this. What the hell? Turns out that like conforming to your body is maybe not the best thing while you sleep. First, check that the front knee and toes point straight ahead, knee over the ankle. And now see how the front leg looks like an inclined plane? Remember that? Was that geometry? I don't even know what subject that is. Walk your back foot back and bend your front leg deeper. Now we're in the hip opener. Squeeze the front heel in, guide the front knee open. As you inhale, pull the feet towards each other. Reach the top arm up and back to warrior two. Change nothing in the legs. Reach straight back like you're going to touch the wall at the back of the room. Is it okay to touch? And then bend the front leg deeper. Nice. Push the front leg straight. Big breath in. Exhale, left fingertips to the floor or a block. See how the weight falls to the outer edge of the foot? Lift the outer edge of the foot clear up off the floor. Keep that. See how the front knee knocks in? Keep the outer edge of the foot lifting as you guide the inner knee more open. You have to bend the leg a little bit to find that. And from the core of the pelvis, as you push through the legs, one more breath, lean back, rest back over your shoulder. And exhale, touch the floor, pass through your lunge, take it back to downward facing dog. You can rest in dog and child's pose or have your breath carry you through a linking vinyasa in the style of you. Reattuning through the strategies of yoga is literally what keeps me going. Anyone else? Yeah. I like look around the world and how does anyone live without this? Not to sound like a missionary. Find your breath. We'll meet in downward dog. On your inhale, float your right leg to the sky. As you exhale, take a big step through to lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up, crescent lunge. And on the exhale, take a big step forward, standing tall mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Can allow the eyes to soften, perhaps even close the eyes, a gesture of turning into darkness in order to see more clearly. I think one of the benefits of a consistent yoga practice is that it does and will help us see more clearly in times of darkness as we move through darkness. We need a yoga that helps us to see clearly in the dark. With eyes closed, and again, everything's an invitation, not an obligation. So you can peek or even just keep your eyes open if you prefer, or with eyes closed, release the hands. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips tap the earth. With legs bent, inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, biceps by the ears. Exhale, sit deeper. Inhale, stand tall, stand your ground. Exhale, hands to heart. Blink your eyes open. Let's find a strap and take the strap behind you, behind your hips. About hips width apart. This is my imaginary strap. And palms face the back of the room. Wrap your hands around the strap. Elbows bent, so the backs of the hands are like somewhere at the back of the waist, back of the hips. Draw the shoulders, actually lift the armpits up, big breath in, and then point the elbows to the back of the room. Feel the shoulder blades come together. Give a little tug in the strap and reach your arms towards the back of the room. As you inhale, hug your feet towards each other. Make sure the knees aren't locked, and reach the arms back and up. As you inhale, hug the feet towards each other. Rest the head back, lift the arms up. One more breath. Exhale, release. Hands to heart. Notice any newfound awareness of connection to the upper back, awareness of connection to the heart. Again, invitation to keep the eyes softly closed. As you release the hands, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. As you exhale, bend the legs, fingertips tap the earth. Keep the legs bent. As you inhale, reach the arms forward and up, biceps to the ears. As you exhale, think root, buttock flesh, tailbone, sitting bones to the heels. Slide your ears back, and now bring your biceps back to your ears. One more breath, sit 1 more inch. And on an inhale, stand tall. Stand your ground. Exhale, hands to heart. Notice the rhythmic beating of your heart, the unconditional support of gravity meeting each foot, the currents of your breath, your awareness of the presence of those in the room around you. Release the hands, blink open the eyes. Did it feel any more like range of motion, easier having just done the shoulder stretch? Okay, one more shoulder stretch here. Take your feet a little bit wider, like hips width to outer hips width apart. And now option this time with or without the strap. The key is like when you take the hands in the back plane, the shoulders tend to drop down and forward. And so, especially when you bring the hands together, that tends to happen. So if the shoulders are tight, you have the strap there to just give yourself the space you need to open your chest, your lungs, your heart. Okay, and if you don't need the strap, you can interlace your hands. Armpits lift, shoulder blades hug in. Hug your feet energetically towards each other so that you can feel the strength in and of your legs. And then reach the arms back and up and back. Put a little bend in your legs, hinge halfway forward. Bend your legs as much as you need to hinge halfway. Reach your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, fold over the legs, bow to your heart. Let the arms get heavy overhead like wet tree branches. Bend your legs as much as you like, as much as you need. And as you reach the forearms towards the floor overhead, begin to press your thighs towards the back of the room. As you exhale, release the strap, fingertips touch the earth. Inhale, get through the spine. Exhale, step your right foot back to lunge. Bring your blocks high inside your front foot. And let's lower the back. Add with a blanket as you like to cushion the back knee. And then bending your back leg with your right hand, find your right foot. Bind yourself to yourself. Draw the left, what happened here? Okay, most of us are right leg back. How about this? Whatever your back leg is, that shoulder up and back. Most of us, it's the right leg. Draw the right shoulder up and back. And now draw the left shoulder blade to meet the right shoulder blade. Maybe left hand comes to left thigh. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. If you want a little bit more nuance refinement here, inhale to pull the back knee forward. Exhale to draw the bottom ribs back, shoulders back, head back, and then bend your front leg deeper. Nice. Gently release. Hands to blocks. You could walk your blocks a little bit forward and take a big step forward, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Fold over your legs, bow to your heart. Recognize the presence, the source, the voice of the true teacher, never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath, whispering to you what needs to be shed and released, as well as what needs to be cultivated at this time in this interior landscape. We'll step the left foot back to lunge, blocks high inside your front foot. Pad the back knee. You can adjust the cushioning as needed for this particular knee. It can be very different from the other knee. Get more at the base of the thigh above the knee. That's where you want your weight. And then bending your back leg, left hand for left foot. Draw the left shoulder blade up and back, left shoulder blade to the spine. If you feel steady, right hand slides up to the right thigh. Draw the right shoulder blade up and back. And bend the front leg deeper. See how everything kind of falls forward? Reverse that. So unbend the front leg a little bit, pull the ribs back and the shoulders back and the head back, and keeping that, bend the front leg deeper. Nice. One more breath in there. Release. Downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, notice if the eyes are open or closed. I know I have a tendency often in my practice to close the eyes. It's my tendency to shut the outer world out. But can you keep your awareness of connection to the space that you're in, at large, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe, within and without, with eyes closed, and then moving in darkness. Inhale to plank. Invitation to keep the eyes closed. Exhale to lower. The eyes can remain closed. Inhale for cobra, cobra dog, or up dog. Extra breath here. Heart open, eyes closed. Root into the earth through the legs. Root into the earth through the hands. Pull the hands towards the feet. And draw the collarbones up and back, slide the palate back. Brow softens, one more breath. And eyes can remain closed as you exhale, move back to downward facing dog. On your inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Pause. Make a conscious choice. Do eyes remain closed or open? Exhale, catch your lunge. Back heel to the ground. Inhale for warrior two. Turn your back toes in, reach back through the left arm, and bend the front leg deeper. The front leg straight, big breath in, exhale, right fingertips to the floor or a block. If the eyes are closed and you need to open to find a block, like, all is permitted. You don't need my cue. And then again, invitation to find your triangle and to explore it with eyes closed. Ezra, is it okay to touch? Okay. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Open your eyes. With your right hand, find your block. Bend your right knee and walk your block out in front of the right corner of your mat. You can heel toe your back foot in for this in order to walk your block forward, and then start to shift your weight into your right foot, but pause, because in this transition, the right knee and toes want to turn in. Make sure your right knee and toes stay pointing straight ahead. And now flex the back foot just a tiny bit off the floor and push your right leg straight to lift your back leg to the sky. Left knee and toes point towards the stairwell wall in studio. Bring your left foot forward a little bit and bring your left shoulder up and back. And now everyone, squeeze the right heel in and guide the inner right knee open. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. You could stay right here or totally optional. Bend your top leg, heel to butt cheek, and with your left hand, find your left foot. The key is to press the knee forward as you kick the foot back. And maybe even here, can you blink, close the eyes for a breath. Extend the leg long, reach the head towards the front of the room. Super slow motion, bend your standing leg, slide the right block outside the right foot, and the left foot comes down to extended side angle. Squeeze the right heel in, guide the right knee open. On the inhale, find warrior two. Exhale, bend the front leg 2 more inches. Touch the ground, downward facing dog. Feel the difference, if any, from side to side. On the inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Both arms straight. Exhale, catch your lunge. Spin the back heel to the ground. Inhale, warrior two. Reach back through the right fingertips in order to bend the front leg deeper. Lindsay, take your left heel a tiny bit wider. More. Just the heel wider, front heel wider. There, a little bit right there. I know, is it so weird? Thank you, that's really good. Push, oh no, what do we do? Push the front leg straight. Exhale for triangle pose. And guide the front knee open. Make sure the knees are not locked so the legs can be straight nice without the knees being locked. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Bend your front leg. Walk the block out in front of the left corner of your mat. Heel toe your back foot in. Take this slow, step by step. Reach the block forward. Flex your back foot. And now lift the back leg by straightening the front leg. Front knee and toes point straight ahead and lift more from the inner right thigh rather than the foot. Option to extend the right arm to the sky. Think right foot forward, right shoulder back. There it is. Squeeze the left heel in, pull the left hip crease back. Totally optional to bend your top leg and with your right hand find your right foot. Can always meet back in extended side angle. That's where we're all gonna meet. If you're in Ardha Chandra Chapasana, sugar cane in the moonlight, press the knee forward as you kick the foot back. Extend the leg long, right arm overhead, super slow motion. Reach through your right fingertips as you step the right foot back, extended side angle, slide the left block outside the left foot. Stick the landing, root through the legs, pull the feet towards each other as you inhale, warrior two. Exhale the front leg, 1 or 2 more inches. And find the earth, downward dog. Can rest in child's pose. So Ardha Chandra Chapasana, it's just such a beautiful name of a pose. Far more so, I think, than the pose itself. It's a tough one. No, it's a beautiful pose. It means sugar cane in the moonlight. And I think that's the aspiration for each one of us in our yoga practice, that in times of darkness, we emit beauty and sweetness. That we can't necessarily assume that we can fix what's been broken, but that we can influence the environment, even when it's broken, and we must admit can't be fixed. Does that make sense? And it's hard, and it's a hard pose. It's the reflection of the light and darkness. We're gonna do it again. Spoiler alert. You can sit back on your heels, sip some water. Any questions, comments, or tips on the pose? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, shoulders more like, I think we tend to move from the gaze, and I think it's very helpful to keep the gaze down even as the heart turns open. So, and I just like, I tend towards neck stuff. And like for my first few years in yoga, the forms are often like, even in triangle pose, like the gaze is up. And I would always find that that was like really creaky on my neck. And so I like learned to look straight ahead, but really also just like looking straight ahead helps to like take away the creakiness, but looking down is like total relief. Does that make sense? So in Ardha Chandrasana, and it might just help to see the transition. So I have the block, and I'm gonna bend the leg, heel toe this back foot in. So there's no rush. Walk the block forward. It like doesn't still feel quite forward enough for me to like I can't stand into my front leg yet. So I heel toe my back foot in a little bit more, and I walk the block forward a little bit more. And right about here, the tendency is gonna be this knee and foot wants to knock in. I'm gonna check, is my standing knee and toe pointing straight ahead? If no, then I adjust. And if so, then I'm gonna shift into my standing leg. See how I flex the back foot? And now when I straighten the standing leg, the back leg lifts. So I'm not actually having to lift the heaviness of the back leg. I'm elevating it by making my standing leg straight. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Okay? And so the hand is directly underneath the shoulder for stability. I can like look around and talk to you. That's over 2 decades of yoga. But if I'm feeling wobbly, I'm gonna look at the floor, like right in front of these blocks, and I start to feel more steady. But I can still look down and turn my heart open. Does that make sense? So the shoulders up and back, the shoulders back are what opens the chest, the lungs, the heart. And then if you feel steady, you bend the top leg, maybe find the foot. It's like reaching in darkness because you can't see back there. You're reaching into darkness to make the connection. And then as the knee presses forward, kick the foot back. That's called Ardha Chandra. And I'm squeezing the standing heel in to guide the left knee open, my standing knee open, and that ignites. Like now I'm in a ring of fire. My standing leg is burning. Anyone else? Not now, but maybe a few moments ago. Hopefully not now. And then I slowly reach forward to step back to make a soft landing. Like you remember we were supposed to have from inflation? Sorry. Thank you. Downward dog. No. Oh, sorry, not downward dog. I was gonna go to downward dog just to feel, I feel like I just like flossed this whole side. Any questions there? Does that help to see? So the gaze down is gonna be helpful in relieving the neck and finding balance. From there, for more challenge, you could gaze straight ahead. And it's not even like you're looking at, you're letting in. So the gaze is soft. It's almost like you're not looking out into the world, you're just receiving the environment. That as long as the neck permits, and everything that's going on in your neck is relating to your shoulder. So if you're creaky in your neck, it's because one or both shoulders are kind of down and forward. The more you hold the chest, the lungs, the heart open, the more freedom you'll have in your neck to look this way or that way, and eventually so steady that you can look all around in every direction. Try it on the second round. Is it second round, side 1, right? Okay. And let me just emphasize that yes, it is a standing balancing pose. The point is balance. And in the face of imbalance, like when we try to balance, most of what we find is unsteadiness and imbalance, right? And this is just the beautiful ways in which everything has a complementary opposite. And so the imbalance points to the balance, and the balance points to the imbalance. And our Western mind tends to define balance as the absence of imbalance. what if balance is the embrace of imbalance, the acceptance? Like, we can't fix or, like, we can do a lot to manage our circumstances, but we can't control everything, right? So there has to be a little bit of ourselves that goes, what if balance was the embrace or the acceptance of imbalance? Not necessarily the tolerance of what can't be tolerated, just to like draw a line, there's boundaries. But that rather than fighting your imbalance, can you receive the unsteadiness and think of the pose as a balancing pose and more as an invitation to emit light and darkness. It's named for the moon. It's called half moon. And then if the bind, which is not appropriate for everyone, like if the bind is appropriate for you, then it's the sugar cane in the moonlight. It's the sweetness that we grow in darkness, the light we emit and the sweetness that we offer. Downward dog. Find your breath, breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. On the inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale to catch your lunge. Bring your right hand to a block and your left hand to your hip. Spin the back heel to the ground and heel toe your back foot in and walk your right block out in front of you and pause and see if you could stand into your front leg yet. Don't do it. If not, heel toe your back foot in and walk the block forward. And you do that until you're not going to stand into the front leg yet, but until you feel like you can. And then notice, did the right knee and or toes knock in? If so, walk the right heel in, track the right knee out, get the right knee and toes to point straight ahead. Now flex your back foot off the ground and push your standing leg straight and continue to maybe micro adjust the block, higher, lower, more out, more over. Flex the foot, draw the left shoulder up and back. Sometimes left foot forward, left shoulder back helps to balance. You could look down, you could look forward, you could look up. Maybe left arm overhead, breathe. Half moan pose. Totally optional if you want to bend the top leg and with your hand find your foot. You got to reach back into darkness to make these connections. And then if you bind yourself to yourself, you press the knee forward as you kick the foot back. It's like a bow on top. It's just that added sweetness. Extend the leg long, reach the left arm overhead, super slow motion. Reach forward as you step back, walk the block back, extended side angle. Gorgios, touch the ground, downward dog. Not only was that so exquisitely beautiful, but did it also just get warmer in here? And rest. I just want to check in for questions, comments, contributions, tips. Because I'm not doing it, like if those of you who are doing it, did you find any actions or tips that could help those around you?
My back leg always feels like it's in line, but it's actually like too far over. So when I feel like I'm overcorrecting, but it actually, when I can see my toes, that it's correct. And when I feel like I'm in line, I'm like too far back.
You're like leaving me. Yes, Jess. Yes, Jess. That's a plug for our teacher training at Three Queens Yoga. So it's a great point. Do you want to show what you mean? This is such a great pro tip. First, get your standing knee and toes to point straight ahead, though. Yep. Yes.
So if I didn't like check, I would feel like this is straight.
So her hip is forward of her heel. And this is really common tendency because we just kind of want to like balance on that standing hip, which isn't sustainable actually. So Jess is suggesting to bring this heel forward. Like she said, do you use she pronouns? Yeah. Okay. To bring the heel forward, you use the word overcorrect. So she's saying that she senses that she's bringing the foot too far forward. Does that feel too far forward yet? right there. But now the heel's actually perfectly in line with the hip, but she's saying it feels like her foot's way far forward. You pass. I'm just kidding. Everyone passes. That's also part of our model. Our fantasy at Three Queens. So it feels like an overcorrection. It feels counterintuitive when we actually come into alignment. I think that's such a beautiful thing to share, great reflection. There was something else I wanted to add to that, but I'm forgetting right now. Oh, she said that you said when you look down the front of your body, you can see your toes or you can see your foot. That's a great tip. So if you have the balance to peek back there, so this is the tendency. See how my heel's at the wall? If I look down the front of my body, I can't see my foot. Now I can see my foot with my peripheral vision. Okay? Ooh. Oy. That's that kettlebell thing. What do they call those? Oh, it still hurts. Try the second side. So use Jessa's tip. If you have this ability, see if you can peek down the front of your body and see your foot. Downward facing dog. Breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. How do you feel about teaching one-legged bridge pose? Good. Okay. On the inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale to catch your lunge. Spin the back heel to the ground and find your block with your left hand. Heel toe your back foot in. Take this transition slowly and walk the block out in front of you and over to the left. And then heel toe your back foot in a little more and walk the block a little bit more forward. And keep doing that just until you feel like you could shift your weight into your front leg. Now check that the standing knee and toes point straight ahead. Then flex your back foot just a little off the floor and push your standing leg straight. Take the right foot forward and the right shoulder up and back. Gorgeous. If you feel steady, reach the right arm to the sky. Your top foot like you're gonna kick Shoshi in front of you. Your right foot, your top foot over towards Shoshi. And if you feel steady, bend your top leg and with your right hand, find your right foot. As you kick the foot back, squeeze the left heel in and anchor your left sitting bone to your left heel as you squeeze the left heel in and kick the right foot back. And extend the right leg long, reach the right arm overhead, get long and super slow motion as you reach forward, step back, slide the block back, take a pause, a breath, an extended side angle. Exhale. Claw the fingertips, press the inner edges of the hands down. Pivot your heels to the right. You can either step the left foot in front for more stability or stack the feet if you feel steady. Press the right hand down, lift your hips high. Shoulder blades together. Now if you feel steady, you gotta lift your hips high. Try to stand through the whole sole of your right foot. Bend your left leg, heel to butt cheek. Pause here, totally optional with your left hand, reach behind you for your left foot. Press the knee forward as you kick the foot back. Release the foot, step the left foot back, look for your feet, parallel your feet, and then stand through your feet to lift the hips up. You can bring your left hand to your heart, to your hip, look for the floor, see the floor. Now look for your feet, make your right leg long again, step your left foot in front of your right leg, downward facing dog. Pivot your heels to the left. You can bring your right hand to your hip or right arm to the sky. You can step your right foot in front for stability. Push through the inner edge of your bottom hand and lift your hips up so high that you can ground the sole of the left foot to the earth. So less like a plank and more like a crescent. Bend your top leg, think heel to totally optional. Reach back with your right hand to find your right foot. Press the knee forward as you kick the foot back. Play the edge. Yeah, and when it happens, just naturally step back. We call that wild thing. Parallel the feet. Look for the floor. See the floor. Totally optional to touch the floor. Or then look for your feet. Make your left leg long. Of your left leg. Turn back to downward facing dog. Push through the arms to lift through the hips. Press back through the thighs and down through the heels. We'll meet in child's pose, a linking vinyasa, if and as you desire to child's pose. That was beautiful. So that was a little sneaky wild card in there. It's called Baby Kapinjalasana, named for the bird, the song that is said to live in and on the nectar of your heart. You can come onto your belly and roll onto your back. You can windshield wiper your legs just to let the low back release as you come onto your back. And we're gonna meet with knees bent, feet on the floor. And so at the heart of our practice, of our yoga tradition, is the cultivation of the ability, of the power to be able to see clearly in darkness, able to make the best of the worst case scenarios. That our fluency in yoga is about our ability to make the best out of the worst case scenario. Selves bridges from the rubble towards something, anything better, towards something better. I'm gonna give it to Melissa for bridge pose sequences.
Okay, let's all find your block. Place it on its narrowest length between your thighs, a little closer to your knees. From here, bring your feet underneath your knees, about hips width distance apart. For most of us, that's about 2 fist widths. And everyone turn your toes in a little bit so you're more pigeon-toed than duck-footed. From here, squeeze the block between your thighs. Notice what it feels like to engage the block with your legs, to hug in. Now from here, press the backs of your arms down into the mat, bend your elbows, make little robot arms. Then inhale, press down through your feet to exhale, lift your hips. Squeeze the block between your thighs. Inhale, press down through your feet. Hug your legs together and feel the stretch. And then exhale, press that strength down into your legs. Long to the front of the room. On your low back. Ditch the block for a second. Bring your feet wide to the mat's edges and let your knees knock in towards one another. You can stay here. Both legs in that bilateral bridge, or single leg bridge. Yay. As you squeeze forward, keep that, extend your right leg long. As you squeeze the block between your thighs, flex your right foot. Consciously press down through your standing foot to lift your hips. Breathe. On your exhale, lower back your low back. Ditch the block first. Let your knees knock. Underneath knees. Squeeze the block thighs. Find the engagement with your legs. Then, this time, inhale, press down. It'll be easier to get into it this way. From here, extend your squeezing the block. Flex your left foot like you did in half moon. Great. Now inhale, press down through your standing foot. Exhale. Towards the back of the room. On your exhale, lower your foot down, lower your hips. Ditch the block. Bend your knees and make windshield wipers with your legs from side to side.
So there's just so much beauty and embody the instability and still be a bridge, that one-legged variation. Let's bring the knees bent, feet on the ground, hips width apart. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh, just the ankle. Flex the right foot and bend the left leg in. Thread your right hand between your legs and interlace your hands behind your left thigh. And take your left knee a little more to the left, tip a little to the left, and then press the right knee away from you. Shoulders, soften the neck, the jaw, the throat, the eyes. Bring your left foot to the floor, release the arms down to the sides or out to the sides, and cactus. Cross the right leg deeper over the left leg. Scoot your butt to the right and do pine twist. Let the breath be full and deep and as full as requires the least amount of effort. With every inhale, let the breath deepen you and fill you up. And as you exhale, the breath pours out of you in the form of an energetic release from the depths of your being. On an inhale, draw the legs up through center. Uncross the legs, shift the hips to neutral. Just take a moment, a pause, a breath. And we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh, bend the right knee in. Thread the left arm between the legs for eye of the needle. Suki run foot. Tip a little to the right. You can even widen the right knee a little to the right, and then press the left knee away from you. And breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Release the clasp. And right foot to the floor, cross the left leg deep over the right leg, tush hips to the left, knees to the right. The arms release down to the sides or out to the sides, and make of this being, this form, an offering to the breath. Let the breath breathe you deeply and fully. The breath massage the visceral body, aerate the interior landscape. Anyone, I was like conked after teacher training yesterday, but from inside my house, I could hear how windy it was. Was anyone out in it? Like so powerful, the way in which air can move energy, change the environment. Inhale the legs through center. Stretch your legs out long, reach your arms overhead. Deep, full breath in, sip in a little bit more air at the top, and exhale with an audible sigh. So Julie, you'll just continuously let inhale flow into exhale, exhale to inhale. Everyone else, take a full deep breath in, pause at the top, sip in more air 2 more times, and hold at the top for as long as you can. And now exhale slowly. Bring your hands to your belly. And you can either keep the legs out long or bend your legs, feet on the ground. So whatever feels more comfortable for your lower back, you can adjust as needed. We're gonna take a deep breath in, and we'll do a 3-part exhale. It's called Viloma Pranayama. You can do this 3-part breath with retentions on inhale or exhale or both. For today, we're gonna do it on exhale. You can tune into the breath work or tune me out as best you can. Regardless of your choice, you know, whether you're gonna do the breath work or not, let the breath hold your vision. And if you're gonna join into the exercise, too much strain, too much trying to control the breath, let it go and let the breath breathe you. For ultimately, we do not control the breath. The breath is choosing us. And this is the time we take to consciously step into greater participation with the breath, not to control the breath, but to play with, to dance with the gift of life. Find your breath. And together, collectively, we'll take a slow, deep, full breath in. Up with breath, bring your hands to the top of your chest, your collarbones, and slowly just exhale. Like your empty should sort of soften and depress. Pause. Bring your hands to the bottom ribs and navel area. Exhale a third of the breath from the middle of the torso, and pause. Bring your hands down to your belly and press out all the rest of the breath like you're emptying the pitcher, and pause. Inhale a deep, full breath in, let it fill you up. Pause at the top, we'll meet there. And it's as though we're emptying a pitcher. We empty the vessel from top to bottom. Bring your hands to your collarbones and exhale a third of your breath. Feel the chest soften. Bring your hands to your bottom ribs and navel. Exhale another third of the breath and pause. Feel the middle soften and contract. And slide your hands down to your belly. And complete the exhale. Empty all the breath out. Deep, full breath in. Let the breath fill you up. If you like the manual feeling of the and exhale slowly, just a third of the breath. And pause. Bring your hands to the bottom ribs. And exhale and pause. And bring your palms to your belly. And exhale all last remaining bits of breath. And pause. Deep breath in 2 more times together on your own. And when you've completed your cycle, release the arms down to the sides and let the breath breathe you. Watch the currents of the breath flow in and out. Like ocean waves coming ashore on the inhale and receding to the horizon on the exhale. And if the mind wanders, which is the nature of the mind, you can add more focus to the breath by adding a count. Inhale for 4. Retain the inhalation for 4. Exhale for 4. And pause at the bottom of the exhale for 4. And over time, you can increase the count if it suits you. Bathing in breath for the time being. As the body softens into stillness, into the unconditional support of gravity, the mind can rest on the currents, the flow, the movement of breath that is the gift of life. You're welcome to stay in the final relaxation with your awareness on your breath or drifting into the ocean of consciousness. Or I invite you to a metta meditation. Metta means loving kindness. I'll offer phrases that you can repeat silently, internally to yourself. And you can remain reclined comfortably, or if you choose, you can gently transition into a seated posture for meditation. So remaining in your final relaxation, resting in the currents of the breath and the gift of life, or shifting towards meditation. Meditation can be done reclined, comfortably, or seated. Wherever you are, whatever you choose, just take a moment to scan yourself and make any adjustments needed in order to make yourself as comfortable as humanly possible. The loving kindness meditation will begin with I statements, and then we will extend the statements, the affirmations towards someone we love, then towards a benefactor, someone who's helped you out along your way, then to a neutral person, someone for whom you have no strong feelings, could be a friend of a friend's partner, your barista. And then we'll extend the affirmations to a difficult person. Doesn't have to be the most difficult person in your life, but someone who you find challenging. And then we will offer the affirmations to all beings, including yourself and each other. Repeat this to yourself in your heart of hearts. See yourself, the you that you are, from the vantage point of the sacred hub of the heart, from the seat of the true teacher within your heart. See yourself, the divine gift of life that you are. And repeat to yourself, may I be happy, healthy, and whole. May I have love, warmth, and contentment. May I transform my suffering into wisdom, beauty, and sweetness. May I be peaceful, graceful, and joyful. Call to mind, call to heart someone that you love dearly. See them in your mind's eye or your heart of hearts, and or feel their presence. May you be happy, healthy, and whole. May you have love, warmth, and contentment. May you transform your suffering into wisdom, beauty, and sweetness. May you be peaceful, graceful, and joyful. Call to mind and heart a benefactor, someone who has helped you along your way. May you be happy, healthy, and whole. May you have love, warmth, and contentment. May you transform your suffering into wisdom, beauty, and sweetness. May you be peaceful, graceful, and joyful. Call to mind a neutral person. Again, maybe a male person, someone you pass on the street, a neighbor that you don't know well. Call to mind someone for whom evokes no strong feelings. May you be happy, healthy, and whole. May you have love, warmth, and contentment. May you transform your suffering into wisdom, beauty, and sweetness. May you be peaceful, graceful, and joyful. Call to mind, and if possible, to heart, a difficult person. Invite a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Hold this person in your mind's eye. If you are fluent in this practice, you might hold them in your heart. It's an invitation, not an obligation. May you be happy, healthy, and whole. May you have love, warmth, and affection. May you transform your suffering into wisdom, beauty, and sweetness. May you be peaceful, graceful, and joyful. May I, may we, and may all beings be happy, healthy, and whole. May all beings have love, warmth, and contentment. May all beings transform their suffering into wisdom, into beauty, into sweetness. May all beings be peaceful, graceful, and joyful. May we bask in the light of the moon. May we emit light in times of darkness. May we become the sugar cane in the moonlight. Take 3 rounds of the deepest, fullest breaths that require the least amount of effort, as though you could indulge in the breath. Let the breath indulge in you. Receive the gift of life more deeply and more fully. And allow this gift of life to be shared generously in you, as you, through you. Let the spirit that you are begin to gently stir and awaken the body that you have. Whether you're reclined or seated, you can gently wiggle toes and fingers. If you're in a seated posture, you might switch the cross of your legs or change your position. If you're reclined, you can bend the legs and feel both feet on the ground, and just take a moment, everyone as you are, to call yourself down to earth. Take a breath and call yourself back to reality. Take a breath and take a moment to visualize the ways in which you stretch yourself in this practice of yoga into all of the activities of your daily life. In so doing, bringing more beauty and virtuosity, more goodness and light to those in the world around you. We can't necessarily change the world, but we can be a positive influence, a positive impact. Imagine that. And if you're reclined, as you feel ready, you can gently roll to one side, press through strong arms to join us in a seated posture. We'll close the eyes. Again, a gesture of turning into darkness in order to see more clearly as we bring the hands together before the heart in Anjali Mudra, placing the heart before us as a guide and an offering in all we do. Let's seal in our time together. We'll invoke blessings for ourselves and each other, and together we send the voices of our hearts out into the world, to all the places, every single place it is most needed, near, locally, and far. You can feel free to join into the sound or bathe in the sound. Deep breath in. As you bow to your heart, with all my heart, I bow to every single one of you. Thank you so much for your practice and your presence, for getting up today and for getting up tomorrow, and for all that you do every single day of this life. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the time together. Let's keep it going. Keep it going. I think, is it next week? Are we in May next weekend? Okay. Next Sunday, I'm doing Mother's Day edition with Dr. Claire. From 1 to 3:30, we explore the darker side of motherhood, and I'll be doing some self-massage ball rolling. So if you or any of the moms in your life want a little yoga mom time, join us on Sunday afternoon from 1 to 3:30. Stop Doubting, Start Trusting, Unlock Your Psychic Power with Brandy Van is on Tuesday evening, May 13th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. My teacher, Michelle Cassandra Johnson, many of our teachers, she'll be here for a weekend workshop, Illuminating Our True Nature, a weekend of yoga, healing, and collective liberation. The Friday night is a standalone. We'll do a yoga practice, book talk, book signing. The book is amazing. It's on Audible. I think we have hard copies, or they're coming in. It's about the kleshas, which are the afflictions of the yoga tradition. We have 5 afflictions that are the root causes and sources of suffering. And it's about how we can deal with, engage these afflictions, and transform them into beauty and wisdom. So join us for that weekend. I hope you can. I hope you do. Friday, May 30th, we have a pop-up yoga fun night with Alex from 6:30 to 8. And then super excited, we'll be starting out on Ray Street Pier. We can do yoga outside with like 100 people a few times a week all summer. And then we just got a gig with the Four Seasons. That's going to be more exclusive, 10 people on their pool deck. That's a higher ticketed item, but it'll include more than yoga, if you catch my drift. So stay tuned for that.
When's the outdoor?
Outdoor starts in June. I believe it all starts in June, and the outdoor, I think, is Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday morning, and the Four Seasons is Wednesday evenings. And we'll be here too. Oh, and we have just a couple more spots left for Greece. So if anyone wants to come to Greece with us in July 20th to 26th, Alex and I are leading a week-long yoga retreat in Greece. It is a getaway to go deep, expand perspective, and come back recharged and ready for whatever. Thanks, everyone. Oh, the pop-up with Alex is 80s themed. That means you can expect 80s music, and you can wear